What's going on YouTube? I'm back with some NBA 2K13 My Team, and I've had a really bad start to this season so far. All 3 games that I've tried to play, I've lost internet and just So I try to get back on this game right here. I try to get my confidence back because I just have been doing terrible so far in this season. And this guy, he really did not have a good team at all. He had no superstars, but that's not what I want to talk about. Actually, in this video, I want to talk about free agency and the offseason. And one thing I would like to talk about is most of the trades that went on. The biggest trade that surprised me the most was actually Andre Iguodala leaving the Denver Nuggets and going to the Golden State Warriors. I thought Andre Iguodala was like a great fit for Denver, and I thought he would never leave because they were doing so well, but, and it's also kind of weird that he's going to the team that kicked the Denver Nuggets out of the playoffs last year, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, I was surprised about that trade. Of course, the Dwight Howard trade. I think Houston's going to be really good next season. Another trade I like to talk about would be the OJ Mayo trade and pretty much the Bucks in general, because the Bucks have gotten so many assets to the team. They've picked up OJ Mayo, but they did get rid of Brendan Jennings. I think Brendan Jennings is going to, the Trailblazers, I think it is. I don't know. I think I remember seeing the Trailblazers. But anywho, the Bucks picked up OJ Mayo. They got a whole bunch of more other players, especially I think in the draft too. They got a couple players. But if you didn't know by now, I'm a Bobcats fan, and I can't wait to see Cody Zeller and Al Jefferson play together next season. And I really think they I really think they can do good. And I hope they catch on to Steve Clifford's coaching system and be a really big asset to the team, because right now my team needs some help, and I hope they could do that for them. But some other trades I like to talk about would be the trade that would be sending J.J. Hickson to the Denver Nuggets. J.J. Hickson, I never thought Portland would get rid of J.J. Hickson, because that's about the only power forward that the Trailblazers had, and they got rid of him, and they sent him to the Denver Nuggets. I don't really think J.J. Hickson will play, because they already have, JaVale McGee, they've got Kenneth Faried, they've got, I don't know if Danilo Gallinari. I think he plays small forward. I think he might be like power forward, but those. I don't think he's gonna be playing much. He might be able to play over JaVale McGee, because JaVale McGee's not the smartest player nor the best player, but yeah, I was pretty surprised about that. But they do have C.J. McCollum, who is a pretty decent point guard. I don't think he's gonna be starting over Damian Lillard, so he might be playing backup shooting guard under Wesley Matthews, which is not a big surprise because Damian Lillard is just, he averages, I think he led the league in minutes last year, which means C.J. McCollum is not going to play. Another thing I'd like to talk about, or another player I would talk about, would be Anthony Bennett going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he's going to be a good fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers because they're really in need of a small forward. And I think they have a really good lineup now. Now that I look at it, Kyrie Irving, Deion Waiters, Anthony Bennett, Andrew Bynum, and Anderson Varejao. That's a pretty good squad. Also, they got Tyler Zeller, so I think that's a really good squad. They're probably going to go far in the NBA. Now to talk about the trade that went on in Philadelphia with involving Nerlens Noel and Drew Holiday. I know a bunch of people were upset, especially if y'all are Philadelphia 76ers fans, about Drew Holiday actually being traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. And I really thought that Nerlens Noel and Anthony Davis could play together, but I guess that wasn't meant to be. So Nerlens Noel will be playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, and I guess he's going to be playing center there because, Andrew Bynum's gone now, so I guess he's going to be playing center along with Spencer Hawes, maybe. He might put power forward, but another trade is the trade with Mike Miller. Mike Miller was probably maybe the third biggest asset off the bench in the whole entire playoffs, especially in the finals also, because I know, when he hit the three with one shoe, and he was just hitting threes left and right. He was like 5 for 5 in the finals, like I think it was like the first 3 games. I mean, he couldn't miss. I think he had like 8 threes in a row in like the first 3 games. So, I mean, that was pretty big. I did not know they would get rid of him, but it's a big surprise. I mean, they're gonna lose a pretty big asset off the bench in Mike Miller. So, I mean, I don't think they really got anybody in return. But also, speaking of the Miami Heat, Greg Oden is signed with the Miami Heat. He signed like a 2-year contract. I don't know how much it's worth. I think it might be like $5 million. But I mean, Greg Oden hasn't played since like 2009. He was drafted in the first pick in 2007. So, I mean, he hasn't played in forever. I mean, he got surgery on both knees. He's had bad knees ever since he's been drafted into the NBA. And I mean, he's going to be a pretty big asset to the Miami Heat, because Miami Heat really don't have any real centers, I guess you could say, because Chris Bosh is not a real center. He's more of a power forward, I guess you could say, because he doesn't play low post offense. He's more of a mid-range, and he does shoot 3-pointers sometimes for some reason. I don't know, but I really think he's going to be a big asset to the team. But I mean, I don't think he's going to play over Chris Anderson unless he's going to play, power forward, I guess. But I mean, I don't think he's going to play over Chris Anderson. He might play over Joel Anthony, but he doesn't play a lot anyways. So I mean, I can't just wait to see him play again. I wonder if he's going to get hurt again. I don't know. I haven't seen him play I've actually never ever seen him play. I just know he was in the NBA for a couple years. Surgery on both knees. He hasn't played since. So I really hope that he gets better and is a pretty big asset to the Miami Heat. Now let's just talk about the offseason in general. I know a lot of people are surprised about the NBA Finals. Yeah. I think Kawhi Leonard, if he made those game winner, if he made those free throws, actually I should say, in game 6, I think it was, him and Manu Ginobili missed some big free throws. That could have done it, but they missed. Ray Allen hit the 3 that sent him in game 7, and that was that. But also in the offseason, with the trade with Dwight, and I think it said like 13 teams. They said 13 teams in the offseason were they had no head coach. So I mean, there was a lot of firing going on. There was a lot of losing coaches. I think, just to name a few, I know George Karl, PJ Carlesimo, Mike Dunlap. I think it was who else? I know Keith Smart got fired. I don't know who else got fired, but I think he said there's about 13. I think the Pistons, I don't know this coach's name, but the Pistons lost their coach. The Bucks lost their coach. I think his name was, I know it was like Scott Skiles, but there was like somebody else after him. I can't remember, but they lost their coach. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams without coaches. I don't think Denver has a coach yet. I haven't seen anything on Denver yet, but the Bobcats did get Steve Clifford as their coach, who was the assistant coach over in LA. So I hope he's a big asset to the team. I hope the players get his system down on the Bobcats. So, I can't wait for that. Talking about players now. I hope Dwight Howard in the Rockets. That's gonna be a great fit, as I said before. But I've heard so many. I've seen so many reports and I've heard so many rumors about Omer Sheik complaining about he won't be able to play, he won't get any minutes, and now he wants to be traded. But I've also heard that the NBA turned down his trade request because he wanted to be traded because he would never play. And I think he can play, but I think they should put Dwight Howard at power forward and then put Omer Sheik at center. And I think that's going to be awesome. Jeremy Lin, James Harden, Chandler Parsons, Dwight, and Omer Sheik. That's gonna be a nice lineup. That's really nice. Some more offseason talk. Let's see. The Miami Heat. I feel the Miami Heat. I don't think. I mean, with the teams going on now, the Lakers are breaking apart. The Spurs are getting older. OKC, they still don't have Russell Westbrook. The Knicks, I don't think the Knicks. The Knicks got Tim Hardaway Jr. But I think I see the Miami Heat winning again next season, which is not a big surprise because their team is just wow. I thought their team was stacked in 2010, but now over the couple years they've got Ray Allen. They picked up Norris Cole. I think it was like the 2011 draft. And they've gotten, they're getting Greg Oden now. They picked up, who else did they pick up? They've got a lot of big assets. They've got a ton of shooters to spread the floor, and there's just a bigger lane for LeBron, and D Wade, and and Chris Bosh. Sorry, but I think I see the Miami Heat winning again this year. I think everybody else does, unless you're a fan of every other team. I think the Chicago Bulls, they could make it into the playoffs if Derrick Rose is playing, a lot of minutes during every game, but I don't think he will. So I think if they do make it to the playoffs, they're not going to make it out of the Eastern Conference because, they still got to beat you still got the Knicks and the Nets and and the Heat. The Cavaliers are big now, so I think the Cavaliers might be able to take them out. You never know, but I said before, I do see the Heat winning the finals, unless some team from the West, like the Spurs or OKC or Memphis or the Clippers, maybe even Golden State. Golden State, they look a lot better. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala. I think it was Andrew Bogut and David Lee. I think it was. I think Andrew Bogut got traded, if I'm remembering right, but their team looks pretty good. They also got a good bench: Jarrett Jack, Harrison Barnes, what's his name? Bazemore. He's pretty good. So I hope somebody else besides the Miami Heat win the finals because I'm just tired of the Heat winning. I want a different team to win for a change. I'd like to see Kobe get his 6th ring. That'd be awesome, but I don't see that happening because nobody, I guess you could say good enough has joined the Lakers this offseason. Steve Nash, don't even know if he's going to be able to play. He's still got so many injuries. Kobe, injuries. Pau Gasol, injury. Jordan Hill just came back from an injury, but who knows how long he's going to be able to play. They did pick up, guys like Ryan Kelly and Nick Young and Chris Kaman, but that's just not going to get it done in the playoffs, because Chris Kaman's not the strongest center. Nick Young's not the best shooting guard. They also got Wesley Johnson, who was the worst player I think I've ever seen. Wesley Johnson is not the greatest player. I saw him on the Phoenix Suns. He was, I've never seen him play. Nobody even knows who he is, And to have him on the Lakers is not going to help them any more than they were before they even made the trade. He's not. He might bring them down, but I know for sure he's not going to help them. So I'm kind of iffy on the Lakers right now. I think the Clippers, yeah, they got Reggie Bullock from North Carolina. I saw him in the summer league, and I think he could do good in the NBA, but that's actually another thing I want to talk about was the summer league, and I enjoyed it myself, but I know a lot of people didn't because, none of the stars were playing. It was just the guys from the D-League, the new draft guys that never played, and a lot of people didn't like that, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing what my team was going to look like next year, which, that's what I used to, that's pretty much what your team is going to look like next year, especially for my team, because the Bobcats are pretty young, so, most of the players that you saw on the court are going to be on the team next year, except for guys like, Jefferson, who's an older player, so he's not going to be in the summer league, but, I actually like the way Cody Zeller played in the the summer league. I mean, I think he averaged there was 13 points and 8 rebounds, which is actually pretty good for a rookie. I think they went 2-1. I think it was. I know they played the Spurs, and I think Corey Joseph had a game-winning shot, or I think they put him up 1 with 3 seconds left, and they actually beat. I think the next game they beat the Knicks by 14 points. And I mean they look pretty strong out there. I see a lot of players out there that I've never seen before, which I hope I get to see them in the preseason and the regular season, but I don't think that they're gonna play because they really weren't that good when I was watching them. I think they also played. I forgot what other team they played, but I was kind of surprised, but by the way they played. They actually played a lot better than I thought they were gonna play. I didn't think they were gonna beat the Knicks because the Knicks had a pretty good squad with C.J. Leslie and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jeremy Tyler. Jeremy Tyler was a big guy, but Cody Zeller was just a lot better in that game. So I like to see that. Another team I was surprised by in the summer league was the Sacramento Kings. Ben McLemore is not as good as I thought he would be. I saw I think it was what was it called? There was the training camp or whatever it was. I think it was a training camp. I just had a brain fart there. I couldn't think of it. I think it was a training camp or with the scouts and stuff like that. I saw him and he was making every shot left and right. They were showing his workouts, his team workouts or team training or whatever it was. I saw him and he was just making shots left and right. But I saw him against the Timberwolves, I think it was, and Shabazz Muhammad went off. And I think when I was watching, Ben McLemore was he was 0 for 8. He had 2 points from the free throw line. He might have had a couple assists and a couple rebounds, but I was not surprised at all by Ben McLemore. I thought he'd be a lot better. I think that game they got blown up by 30-something points, which was kind of ridiculous because I thought they had a pretty good squad, but I guess the Timberwolves were just a little bit better. I don't even know many rookies on the Timberwolves besides Shabazz Muhammad, who just got drafted by them. So I think they could be good, but I don't see them being any better than they were last year. They got rid of Tyreek Evans. DeMarcus Cousins still not learned how to. He hasn't learned how to mature. He hasn't matured yet. Jason Thompson is still new. I guess the only person they can lean on is John Salmons and Marcus Thornton, who are veterans in the league. But that's about it. Isaiah Thomas is a steady point guard. So that's about all I have to say, guys. And I think this video is coming to a close. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did so, leave a like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And I'm out. Peace.